Greetings, gardening friends. It's the Budget Gardener here, and I've got a new little experiment. Actually, it's an old experiment being repeated. If you search on YouTube for bottle planters, you'll see all sorts of really neat looking bottle planters, but they involve a fair amount of work, and I think this particular design is going to be extremely kid friendly. Now, you might be wondering, why are we pointing at a bucket of mud? Let me go back through the history of this real quick, and then we'll get to the actual project. This is something I did clear back in 2010. It is now 2016. The first time I tried this, and the first time I tried it in a glass bottle, a clear glass bottle, and it worked so well that I wanted to do it again. And I tried it again earlier this year, but when I did, I tried it with wine bottles, only to discover two things from the experiment. One, with the wine bottles, you end up, the color of the bottle actually affects the experiment. And the second was, I tried putting soil in the bottle, and ultimately what ended up happening was they grew really quickly for about a week or two, and then they just kind of died off. And the problem then was that I had all the soil in a bunch of bottles, so that's what you're looking at, is me extracting all of that soil back out of the bottles, just because I'm trying to recycle. And then I tossed out the bottles, which isn't really recycling. But so that's why you're seeing a bucket of mud. But here's the project. We're going to take a very simple water bottle. We're not going to make any cuts. And we're going to use, in this case, I'm using garden beans. These are a golden wax bean, yellow wax, whatever you want to call it. What you want when you do this experiment is a plant that's going to grow tall, and beans tend to grow tall. If they're too short, they may suffocate in the bottle. Now, the plan is really simple. You need the bottle, you need some seeds, and you need some toilet paper, which I don't have out here cooking show style. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the bottle, you're going to remove the cap, you're going to wad up some toilet paper, just a little bit, put that in the bottom, put some water in the bottom, and then drop the seeds in. And then you can either leave it open or cap it. And my experiment here is going to be, I'm going to try a bunch of different seeds, but ultimately I'm going to try the bean seeds, one with the cap on and one with the cap off, so we can see if there's any difference in how they grow. So let me go ahead and get it set up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you might be wondering, first off, why am I doing this on top of my air conditioner? This is probably a project better suited for the kitchen table, but my kitchen table is a screaming mess right now. So this was just an easy surface. I've kind of cleaned it off mostly. It's an old air conditioner. It's got some scratches on it and what have you. But let's dive right into this. And now the first thing we're going to need to take some of this toilet paper. And if you're wondering why toilet paper, you could use paper towels, but toilet paper breaks down easier. So as a medium for growing, it's just a better medium. So I'm going to take it and just crumple it up into little bits like that. And then I'm going to drop them into the bottle. Now, depending on the size of your bottle, you're probably going to want, if it's a bigger bottle where it's got a bigger base to it, you may want to have more. But in this one, I'd say maybe 3 squares would probably be enough, so you're not really using too much toilet paper. And I'm going to put that in there. And that's pretty good. And you can kind of judge. I'm going to add some water now. So I've got water, it just happens to be in another bottle. Whoops. And I'm going to go ahead and pour just a little bit in there and swirl it around. Really what you're trying to do is get that paper to kind of flatten down. I don't know how easy that is to show. You don't need a whole lot. Really what you're doing is you're giving the roots something to grab onto. So I'm going to grab the seeds. I'm going to get one seed out. And I'm just going to drop the seed. Now you want to try and get it somewhat centered if you can. Let's see how we did. Now that one landed on the side, but you can then just kind of maybe move it around a little bit. Now I have it more towards the center, but I've created a little gap. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and throw in one more square of toilet paper. And I want to explain again, you don't want to put too much water in there. The main reason being, see, now that's probably okay even if it doesn't line up perfectly. I'm going to put a little more water to try and encourage that square to go down towards the bottom. Just a little bit. Because ultimately, with this design, that paper will eventually pick up that moisture and it becomes kind of a replacement for soil. And it's something that's very easy to break down once you want to remove the plant from the bottle, which is something that I did back in 2011. Let me show you a little clip of the video there. Okay, that should give you some idea. Unfortunately, back then I didn't record when I did the original bottle experiment with the glass bottle, but I did record pulling it out. And if you look online, look on this same account, look at one of my very early videos, and you'll probably find it. I'll try and put a link here too. But that's pretty much it. You put all that together, and then you can put the cap back on the bottle. And this is going to be my experiment, is whether there's a difference between putting the cap on and not putting the cap on. And then you don't really have to have a garden. I'm just going to put it on the windowsill, and it'll get sunlight through the window. So that's pretty much the entire experiment. Go ahead and give it a try. If you want, you can send me a link to one of your videos if you try it. And again, I think this is really kid-friendly because it really doesn't involve cutting or anything else like that. Glass bottles are a bit more dangerous than plastic. It's going to be hard to hurt yourself with plastic. I'm not going to guarantee it won't happen. But that's pretty much it. So let me know how it goes. And that's it for this experiment. So this is Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb be green.